As we have been discussing, first we started ātma anātma vichara. So there are two things. Something is called ātma. Other than that, everything is anātma. While discussing this ātma anātma vichara, while doing this thing, so what was the purpose? So the purpose was that I consider myself as body. I consider myself as mind. So in short, I consider myself as body-mind complex. And because I consider body-mind complex, there is dvaita bhava. Please, it's a very serious topic now, because slowly Adi Śaṅkara leading to the different stage altogether teaching. Because ātma anātma is very easy, even though it looks very, difficult for beginners, but it is actually very easy. Next stage is very complicated. Now we are coming. Here he says that I look at myself as body, or in short you can say there is ātma, there is anātma. So wherever there are two things called dvaita, duality, so that means there is a division, there is a limitation. So ātma, let us say, ātma will limit anātma, anātma will limit ātma. So there will be constant fight, common logic, okay? In fact, that is how the scientists, they say that a time will come, all the living beings will be shallowed by anātma matter. But we will say other way around, okay? So we will be saying what? Hey, no, anātma is not going to shallow ātma. In fact, ātma is going to shallow anātma. In fact, there is nothing called anātma. That's another stage we will be seeing. Very different, okay? That's why I never ever say, oh, scripture is scientific. Please. Yes, science has no meaning, no value. Science, if you observe, as I have been highlighting all the time, science is completely based on manipulated, stipulated data. But being recognized as rational, like in India, how they call so-called rational people, you know better, okay? I don't want to get into India concept, because if I bring India, you will understand in details, okay? Like, for example, animal lover. So who are the animal lover? So if you love, dog, cats, you are a sensitive person. You are called animal lover. So if you protect tiger or elephant very rarely, tiger especially, so you are called, social activist, and you are a very, different person altogether. But if you talk to protect cows, you are called Hindu Orthodox. We have plenty of discussions in India. So like how this thing was, all this thing came because of one reason, this India being a secular country, destroyed everything. And one fellow did it, okay? We must not forget that fellow, okay? So, however, really, what a destruction that fellow has brought to India, and he was an agent of Britishers and portrayed as great fellow, man of ahimsa. However, so whenever his name comes, I have my hinsa, okay? Coming back. Hey, this is my entertainment, okay? Please understand this, okay? Coming. this matter and consciousness. So, the scientists highlight that when there will be collision, especially sun will get destroyed and all these things will happen. So now the matter will take over everything. So that is the logic, the scientific logic they give. Whereas in reality, what is that? In reality, conscious is going to take over everything. In fact, there is nothing called matter. This is what Vedanta. First thing you have to understand. The verse number 41 talks this point. Let us look at the verse so that it becomes easier, okay? ātma deha bhānena prapañcasyaiva satyatā yathoktā tarka śāstreṇa tataḥ puruṣārthatā. He says beautifully, look. Now, thus we have seen, we have been watching the difference between deha and ātma. So, how ātma is different, anatma is different. Now the point is, so in the process, what we are doing? Now, we are establishing that prapañca, this universe, is satyam. Is it truth? Is it so? Because when we bring, let us say, now when I say, this remote or these two are different. Two different things exist. So when I say two different things exist, that means what? Both are reality or not? Both are truth or not? Is it clear? It's simple logic, okay? So now when I say there is ātma, there is anatma. So who is anatma or who are anatma? So the whole prapañca, including my body-mind complex, everything is anatma. So if everything is anatma, now anatma is satyam or not? Can you see logic? Common logic, okay? When there are two things exist, both has to be reality. Now, he says, if this happens, very nice way he puts it, okay, if you say so, that the prapañca, this universe, is true, then what happens? Then tarka śāstreṇa tataḥ puruṣārthatā. Says, look, this is what is being talked logically, in logic, all the tarka shastra people. Then if this is the case, tataḥ, then what happens? Puruṣārthatā siddhyati iti. So then, how we will be arrive at the purpose of life or that moksha, liberation that I am looking for in my life? Will it be possible to arrive at? Why? Please understand. If I accept, this is the logic goes, this is called Vedantic logic. If I accept that there are two things exist and both are reality, then what happens? I give due importance to both. And once I give due importance to both, there is division and there will be always fear because of limitation. We say, dvaite bhayam asti. wherever there is a dvaitam, wherever there is duality, there has to be fear. Because one has to limit others. So how does? Mainly in the form of desham and kalam. So in the field of space and time, this limitation comes. And as you know, wherever there is limitation with reference to desham, there is insecurity or not. That's why whole universe fights not for anything because of piece of space. Whether it is land space or your inner space. If you observe all the fight that you have, personal fight in your house nowadays. So nowadays nobody fights for this external space. So everybody fights for inner space. My wife did not give me my inner space, did not respect me, did not treat me properly. My husband did not respect me, did not take care of me. So that means what the fight is in the terms of inner space. Please, it's a very crucial point to understand. So the limitation that comes through space makes me insecure. Number one. Second one, the limitation that comes because of what? Because of time. That generates fear in me. So that we call as instinctive fear. Fear of death, fear of loss. It's like, for example's sake, I'm trying to tell you. So you do not know, in Indian context, you do not know that already you are 60 years old. You never calculated. Suddenly you discover you are 60 years. Oh, my job is going to get over. I am going to retire. You understand? The moment you are aware of your age, then, retirement age has come. Nowadays, I think 62 they have increased, if I am right. So, how this happens? So, wherever there is a time, there is fear of loss. So, what is my purpose of life? So, whole purpose of life is what? To overcome fear and to overcome insecurity. Correct or not? Now, following this tarka, this logic, and that to shastra, that's why Nyayika and Vaisheshika are being dismissed through this. Two schools of philosophies, they have been dismissed from this standpoint. Because while spending in logic, if I lose the purpose of my life, like yesterday I gave the example of 3 idiots. So who are 3 idiots? One is a musician, second one astrologer, third one logician, okay? So the purpose was lost. That's why I call idiot, okay? Not the sake of idiots, okay? Don't misunderstand me. So also, by following logic, by following a school of philosophy, if my purpose is being lost, only I get some type of, satisfaction, consolation, not satisfaction, consolation. I am consoled. Now, is it healthy? So this is being pointed out in the verse number 41. Very seriously, okay? So why he points out this way? Let us continue 42 so that it becomes easier to. Ityatma deha bhedena dehātmatvaṁ nivāritam idānīṁ deha bhedasya śyastreṇa sphuṭam ucyate. Says, look, Iti, thus as we have been discussing, ātma deha bhedena. So this explanation of this difference between ātma and the body. Now, dehātmatvaṁ, the view that the body is ātma, nivāritam, idānīṁ now. How? Let us look at. The concept we have to understand, or else this verse is not useful at all. When we look at anatma, including prapañca, the whole universe, so we say that it is mithya. So when you use the word mithya, so some people translate as non-existence. So here there is a problem. But when we say very carefully, we say that the prapañca is not real. Let us understand very carefully. Prapañca, the universe, or this body-mind complex is not real. It is unreal. So unreal means what? Common thinking comes to a conclusion that it is non-existence. So that which is not real, it doesn't exist. Do you understand the concept? But this is wrong. Vedanta says it is unreal because we talk about factual existence. So there are two types of existence we need to look at. I hope I am not, hitting your head differently, okay? Two types of existence. So one is called factual existence, other one is called experiential existence. So Vedanta never dismisses experiential existence. Is it clear? But it dismisses factual existence. How? We'll give an example which is very popular to you, very close and nearer, dearer to you. Every day you use mirror or not? You use mirror. Now, the pratibimba, the image that you see on the mirror, so is it real? Come on. It is not real. Hey, you are doing your hand completely reflecting, okay? Including black spot, pimples, okay? And if you are not sleeping properly, layers of black so that you cover it with paintings. Then how can you say that it is not real? Just to see, because this is your example I am giving you back, okay? So that means the reflection that is appearing on the mirror, you don't accept that is real, but you experience. So that means what? This reflection that is available on mirror is available for experience. It is useful for everything. But it is not real. Clear? At least this much clarity is there or not now? So also the prapañca, the universe. So the universe is not real, but it is available, useful for all sort of experiences. Is it clear? If not, I'll give you another example. Because I have to break people's head today a little bit, okay? Our popular example, which will be coming in the next two verses, very nicely. The reflection. Same mirror we take. Now, we keep the mirror, sunlight comes, falls, and now sunlight is reflected. Now that through the sunlight, now what happened? The house is being lit. Now, the light that is reflected, is it sunlight? Is it sunlight? Definitely not. Is it mirror light? It is neither sunlight, it is nor mirror light, even though we call moonlight, okay? That is another wrong perception, okay? So moon doesn't have light. Moon just reflects. However, let us not get into too much. Neither it is sunlight, nor it is moonlight. But that light, is it useful or not? It has experiential existence. Can you see this point very carefully? So also the whole universe has its experiential existence. We don't have to look at them that, oh, it does not exist, it's non-existent. No, like, all this Buddhism, that is how Buddhism going the other way around. So we accept, that's why what they teach and what they live, there is a dichotomy, like starting with ahimsa. So they are embodiment of ahimsa, but they can eat meat. So Buddhist monk can eat meat, no problem, okay? Absolute no problem. How is it possible? No, because Buddha, they will say, because Buddha ate. And they will go one step ahead. If we will not kill any animal to eat, if somebody kills and gives us, we don't mind, because it is, bhiksha. So what a, perverted logic. However, let us not target anybody. This is just, information sake, okay? Now, when this is being said, whole teaching here highlights that, look, we talk about experiential existence. And experiential existence has got a value as long as it is useful. If it is not useful, it should not have value. Is it clear? And how this experiential existence comes? Verses will come, so that 2-3 verses I'll take tomorrow clearly. The experiential existence completely depends upon my projection. I'll give you an example, which the verse itself will talk, so that I am establishing the concept, so that it becomes easier just to read the verse, nothing else. Then look, we see snake on a rope in a twilight zone. So when we see verse number 43, okay, already I have touched 43. So when we see the snake on a rope, now does snake exist? But the length of snake is so big. In fact, lying down so nicely, maybe has taken some rats, that's why not able to move. Can you see the imagination? He looks like very poisonous. Now, we experience the snake in details. And we start shouting. Also, we start hitting with the stick. We do all sort of things, thinking that it is a real snake. But it is completely experiential snake. Do you see the difference? The real snake and experiential snake. Now this experiential snake, where did it come from? How did it come from? It came from my projection. And if we look at the whole universe that I experience, it is because of my projection of this life or previous lives. That's why the way I look at others, not because people are that, because of my projection. So that means I give the experiential existence to anything and everything. And the more I give experiential existence to everything, then what happens? The more I have insecurity and fear. Okay, I understand. Then what is to be done? How to go about it? Okay, now the example is not nearby, I would have shown it. But don't worry. So we have method. This is the teaching, these two verses. So here we say, look, to understand or dismiss experiential existence, you don't have to destroy anything. You have to understand how. Just imagine, so nearby it is not there, there was one good idol was there, one doll was there, Tanjore doll, so it is far away, I cannot get up. So these are the examples we bring it. Now just imagine, let us say a pot. Now if when you look at the pot exists for you. Now I say, look, what you call pot, and not only it exists, it is useful. Now what is that pot? Pot is nothing made up of clay. Now when I say it is made up of clay, now I ask you, hey, look, you need to look at the substance called clay, not the pot. Now, in order to see the clay, is it necessary for you to break the pot, to destroy the pot? Come on, is it necessary? No, unless and until I break the pot, I destroy the pot, I will not able to understand that it is made up of clay. If that is the case, then don't attend Vedanta class, better make goldsmith as your guru. Go to a goldsmith and give some money and dakshina and do namaskaram properly and be with him or her, mainly him. Then that fellow will teach you through the experience. Why? Because when you take the jewelry and goes to a goldsmith to sell, what does he do? So does he break? Does he mold all the gold? So he has his way of testing. He will test and say, look, this much gold is there. So for him, ornament doesn't matter. So he will pay you gold money, not ornament money. Do you understand this concept or not? Later on, what you will do, don't ask, okay? So he can, rearrange and resell within a different way. So that means the goldsmith looks at ornament not as ornament, but looks at as gold, without destroying the shape and size of ornament. So if a goldsmith able to do, now as a Vedantin, without destroying anything, anybody, I must try to question the experiential existence. So the more I question the experiential existence, the more I am a matured person.